Reflector type is so misunderstood. I have a post scheduled to go out on Instagram that tells a story about a reflector that I did a reading for. And I've done reflectors readings all over the place, and I've had reflector coaching clients, all of these things. But this reflector was so interesting to me. Like, I really wanted to put her into a not reflector box based on what I know about reflectors, because she in astrology is an Aries sun. She's very bold and she's very go after it. And she seems to be very energetic, right, from the outside looking in. And she seems to kind of reject these reflector norms. But when I talked to her and when I looked at her chart more in depth, you see that she's actually living very much in alignment with her design. She is very bold and big and bright and strong in her marketing and her messaging, but she takes quarterly vacations. She's like, peace out, I'm out of here, probably for a week or two at a time. She and her husband work, and then she and her husband will go on a vacation to Puerto Rico. I think they might even have a place there now. Anyway, right after the reading that I had with her, she was asking, like, should I stay with my business partner or should I split this up? Because I just don't know if this is for me anymore or not. And right after that, she started making six figures in her solo business. So that was amazing for me to watch as a reader, someone who just kind of observes from the outside looking in. But reflectors are very misunderstood. They're the only lunar types, you know that? And I'm not talking about like our authority, right? Like a lunar cycle. I'm saying all the other types are solar and the reflector type is lunar. So they are a lot more in touch with cycles, but they're also very much more able to reflect and amplify the energy of the sun. And so you can see reflectors that actually seem like they're even larger than life because that's amplification, right? A sacral generator, like have that consistent energy from the sacral center to be enthusiastic and be excited. And when you're near a reflector, your excitement is going to be times 10. They're able to reflect that from every single energy center. They get in trouble though. Any energy center that you have colored white in your chart, you're going to get in trouble when you don't know when enough is enough. When you're like, yeah, I'll amplify and I like the way that feels and I like the response that I get from that. So I'll just be amplified all the time, everywhere, right in front of everybody. That doesn't actually work. And so when you know how to like pace yourself and understand what's yours and what isn't, right? You really aligned with yourself and your process and reject or empty out anything that isn't yours. Now you don't get into these phases of burnout. So anyway, the most important thing I would say for a reflector is not necessarily the wait a lunar cycle. It's more like the know the lunar cycle. Know where you are in the lunar cycle at any given point in time because you can. You can track that via transits because the moon is our fastest moving transit. So it's going to move through all 64 gates every 28 and a half days. And it's going to move through the same 64 gates every 28 and a half days, which means you're going to have the same transit every 28 and a half days. And so different parts of your chart are going to light up. It's going to move around the entire chart because every gate you have is a hanging gate, which means that's the opportunity for things to plug in. It's a very electromagnetic experience that can be fun. And so things are going to plug in and get turned on throughout the month. And so when you make a decision, you can see where you're making a decision from. If your ego center is turned on temporarily and you're like, yeah, I'm going to commit to this forever. I have all the willpower. Knowing that is helpful because like you might be able to commit to it for the duration of the transit, but then it's going to go away and you're going to tell yourself a story that isn't true. So if you can understand what's happening in your chart and then utilize that to your benefit and also understand what's coming in that isn't yours and get rid of that to your benefit, now you're a very empowered reflector and you're super rare and unique and everybody wants to be close.